Hello and welcome to Tok Piksa, all the way from beautiful Bougainville. I'm Fabian Hakalits. We are at Casa Plantation Beach at the northern tip of Buka Island, Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Aropa Airport, the missing airport facility, which now completes the list of 22 national airport facilities in Papua New Guinea. Recently, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and the Autonomous Bougainville Government President, Chief Dr. John Momis, commissioned the airport. It will now be opened for business and served by 3 airlines that includes the national flag carrier Air New Guinea, Airlines PNG and Trebole. We begin our segments tonight with the Prime Minister's goodwill visit to the Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Early this year, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill visited several areas in the autonomous region. The focus of this visit was to restore services and improve infrastructure. We're also going to look at the reconciliation between Aropa landowners and the autonomous Bougainville government that began the works of the Aropa airport. Hope you enjoyed our segments tonight as we bring you more stories from beautiful Bougainville. Enjoy. The Papua New Guinea national government has renewed its commitment to ensure that Bougainville achieves its dream to one day become an independent nation. One of the most important parts of the Bougainville Peace Agreement is a provision for a referendum on Bougainville's political future. The Prime Minister's visit to the autonomous region of Bougainville on January this year has been attributed to the infrastructure development on the once war-torn island. It was his first visit as the country's chief executive after 15 years. This was after former Prime Minister, the late William Skate's visit for the ceasefire agreement in 1997. The reconciliation between Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Bougainville President Chief Dr. John Momis opened up new prospects. It was signified in the breaking of bows and arrows. It was a privilege for the Prime Minister, an important marker in the peace and reconciliation process, visiting different zones of Boka, Buin, CY, Kieta and Panguna, the home of what used to be one of the world's largest open cut mine. And a key message was that the national government's interest wasn't to reopen the mine, but to restore services through infrastructure development. This is because the Panguna mine remains a contentious issue that caused a great deal of heartache, and Bougainvillians must make their own decision. The Prime Minister said that the national government has a major responsibility to rebuild Bougainville.
Ating may time lo yumi totok lo walking iko lo future. Well, pikinini blo yumi can sit down good. Where future blo all yumi can guarantee.
The Bougainville Peace Agreement is a win-win solution, and both the national and autonomous Bougainville governments will work together to ensure its clauses are fully implemented. Due to this special needs, the autonomous Bougainville government has a different funding arrangement from other provincial governments.
Time we signed this agreement, and me know the same, Bougainville does have an autonomous government. Now, I mean, not using more institutions from provincial government, long carry this added responsibility I got.
The establishment of the Program Management Unit allowed the rollout and implementation of the high-impact projects like roads, bridges, airport and wharf. This is part of the national government's commitment to improve infrastructure and to allow the delivery of goods and services in the autonomous region. The Program Management Unit manages these projects through the Special Intervention Funds. The national government's call for state-owned entities to restore services was also honored. This year, most SOEs like New Guinea, Post PNG, Motor Vehicle Insurance, and Water PNG resumed operations in the former mining township of Aropa. Their operational plans was in line with the national government's focus to bring government services right to people's doorsteps, majority of whom live in rural areas.
We are the national airline and we're supporting the government delivering services to our people. That's our obligation. We have a community service obligations to do that on behalf of our government and our people, and we're very happy. And I'm personally very happy to be here in Aropa because I started the process around this in terms of opening a sales office.
The Prime Minister's message in his goodwill visit brought many hope with the rapid boom in development and economical activities being experienced by the people of Bougainville.
And when you look at the regional development, headquarters should be very small, minimized. Development should be centered around the 3 regions. So Aropa is now becoming, the development is now centered here. That's PNG Power, Bank, and now the airport. So that's its own development. Whereas North, it has its own development. And South is going to come. So it's about sharing development.
Focusing ourselves on strengthening governance for the administration and for the Council of Elders, so that the governance is in place before we can start delivering service to the small people right down in the village level.
Aropa Airport is part of the restoration and redevelopment program that the national government has marked as a high-impact project. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said it's costly and time-consuming traveling through the highway. With airport facility available, it will improve transport infrastructure networks and boost the economy. The Aropa Airport project is managed by Program Management Unit with the National Airports Corporation as the consultant.
For ABG and especially Program Management Unit, it was a challenge, but we are so thankful that NAC was engaged to be the project management consultants. A project management consultancy contract was signed between ABG and NAC, so they are the ones, because they're specialists in the airports, so they had to manage this project. But we worked together with them because the funding came from ABG, Special Intervention Fund. 15 million kina was earmarked for this year.
The first high-impact project successfully completed in less than 3 months. Aropa Airport in the Dan North Solomons province was once Papua New Guinea's international gateway, with flights from the Solomon Islands, Australia and Fiji during the golden Panguna mine days. The airport closed soon after all services came to a halt in 1989 at the peak of the Bougainville crisis. Fighting factions dug a hole on the runway that prevented aircraft from landing. The then Civil Aviation Authority, now known as the National Airports Corporation, decommissioned Aropa Airport. Since then, the airport became a grassland spot. Discussions to open the Aropa Airport began in 2008 with dialogue between the national government, Bougainville leaders with landowners. The meetings charted the way forward for the final decision to reopen the airport. From 2008 since, landowners and the people have taken ownership of the airport, cleared the grassland and planted flowers to beautify and give the location of the once international airport not to be lost under tall shrubs and bushes. Concerns were raised on the restoration of services and redevelopment of infrastructure in central and south Bougainville, and to join the peace process on the war-torn island of Bougainville, leaders were to put the differences aside and reconcile. But in order for the decision to bear fruit, a reconciliation ceremony was planned as a customary obligation to allow the smooth pace of the construction work on the airport that was to become Bougainville's second facility. On March this year, the Aropa landowners finally agreed for the airport to be reopened. The quick yes was a response to the national government's call and serious commitment to restore services in the autonomous region of Bougainville. After 25 years of closure, landowners finally gave the green light for the airport to be reopened after its closure in 1989 at the peak of the Bougainville crisis. Rebel leader Ismail Torama described the reconciliation as the stepping stone that opens doors to the many good things to come. In the Melanesian way, reconciliation must take place to allow peace. It paves way for the restoration of air services in Kiata.
Like looking through benefit it come down. Somehow you incorporate in this like come along, this like development process so that they would participate in this program, lo rehabilitative. Because hamba come up with one plan thinking where as you incorporate in this thinking come inside, they will be partners and part and parcel of the development process on Bougainville.
A customary reconciliation was then held between parties representing landowners Peter Karatapi and John Pukana that ended the ongoing disagreement.
We declare in motion this airport and open it.
Part of the initial stages was the groundbreaking ceremony and signing of legal documents that sealed the cooperation between the legitimate parties. Bougainville's Works and Civil Aviation Minister Luke Caraston said many lives were lost during the Aropa operation. The reconciliation marked a new beginning. Mr. Caraston highlighted the long benefits of the Aropa airport to the landowners.
The short-term and the long-term benefits of the airport are significant not only to the Aropa communities but also the region in terms of traveling convenience and business-related travel.
Central Bougainville MP Jimmy Miring Toro and National Civil Aviation Minister Davis Stephen officiated at the groundbreaking ceremony that began the construction work. Mr. Mirintoro explained the push for Aropa to be reopened took time to build trust and confidence with the national government. He challenged the people to take ownership of the asset.
Also, Wakanai and Pamuna, I ask you more but to take ownership of this valuable service.
What we want to see from the national government's point of view.
With the airport, it will make traveling easier and accessible for the central and south Bougainvilleans, opening doors to many business opportunities.
Civil aviation sector of this country mamas that Aropa is coming back to complete the list. The missing airport is coming back.
Bougainville leaders also spoke about the significance of owning or having an airport that will serve its purpose, and that is to link people with government services and the outside world.
No, you may achieve independence. To me, it's surrendering my portion of land for development, because come on, in a front and tableau sky and by needing ground where you sanabrangan, you are steward of that land, and God has a plan for his people.
Me like talk thank you long all leno na to. Usat you cheap long clan, long all clan you been walk long out walk sorry straight. Me at me makim Bougainville gaman. Na people belong, you me long central, me talk thank you straight. Thank you through long out walk blow you blang. Maski me bla bin fighting go ikam, but respect na you me no bin kill him one plaman. Tok tasol and by na blong kamapim good plus in down.
A historical milestone and achievement for the people of the autonomous region of Bougainville is the reopening of the Aropa airport. This is the long-lost airport that now completes the list of 22 national facilities in Papua New Guinea and is now open. On Wednesday, December 10, the national flag carrier Air New Guinea conducted a successful test flight to Aropa. I was on my way to Bougainville for the Aropa airport reopening, having heard the announcement.
Your attention please, Air New Guinea is calling passengers traveling to Aropa Kieta.
Friday, December 12, the moment everyone had waited for. The excitement was seen as hundreds turned up at Aropa with mixed feelings and witnessed the historical occasion. The opening was added extra flavor when 3 chartered aircrafts made their first landing, beginning with Airlines PNG, Air New Guinea Q400, then Traveler Mangi Blopeles. Airlines PNG carried the Aropa land owners, while Prime Minister Peter O'Neill flew on the Air New Guinea aircraft. The Prime Minister officiated at the event and fulfilled his promise to reopen Aropa Airport and reassured the national government's commitment to Bougainville.
So me no come lo play politics lo Bougainville no ga. Me come lo one bla rota so. Honor him commitment all papa na all tumunan o kata line lo you make walk him lo line lo Bougainville. Daso. And this government will continue to do that. We look forward to working with you, President, over the next few years and beyond.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Bougainville President Chief Dr. John Momis then commissioned the airport.
Let me open this now. Aropa Airport is officially open.
The reopening of the Aropa Airport will create benefits and reconciles Bougainville together.
We're talking about bringing service to the people right there under our nose. So that's why it's also building peace. You look at the south and west coast of Bougainville. It's very close. They can come here and then they fly to wherever they want to, beyond to visit the world too. Yeah, they have the money, so they can travel.
Walk about long all history, me play long Bougainville, and me closing long this chapter me play walk about. Now me stop one time revolution. Now today coming long values now me feeling also I'm starting long next chapter, long journey long Bougainville, whereby me Bougainvillians here to me chat him way forward inside long all laws.
In commemorating this special Bird of Paradise service into Aropa, mainland Bougainville, the national flag carrier Air Niugini named one of its Q400 aircraft, Papa X-Ray Tango, as Kieta for a maiden flight to Aropa Airport. It was the chartered aircraft that took Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and the delegation for the reopening ceremony. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Bougainville President Chief Dr. John Momis officially commissioned the name Kieta. State and Investments Minister Ben Micah was proud to witness the commencement of air services to Aropa. The minister responsible also announced negotiations are well underway to link Aropa with the international community, starting with Solomon Islands. Cairns, Australia is the next.
Nami like announcing today on some negotiation on one-time government of Solomon Islands, Solomon Island Airways, so that balance to from Solomon Island and New Guinea by connecting flight from Aropa. So next year we go to Munda and I go to Moniaratu.
For Bougainvillians, the resume of flight operations to Aropa remains a history.
One time all kids or somehow picking on establish Martin. Then we game of Tok Piksa. All picking in looking this like airport. This like airport. Suppose your school would I got chance. You like at airport I got chance but fly out to aeroplane. The school book, we talking all kids all the same time because around this like on I'm looking for this like.
For us, the Kietas, to travel to Buka to get a plane. Most of the time, we spend money from Aropa to Buka. We have to pay 100 kina traveling to get PMB.
National flag carrier Air Niugini resumed its first commercial flights on Saturday, December 20.
We will operate 3 flights a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday. And we will make judgment in the new year as to where we head from there.
For some time, Bougainville kept the country's economy stable with revenue generated by the Bougainville copper mine. The Prime Minister's goodwill visit early this year brought many blessings to the people of the autonomous region of Bougainville. Until then, I'm Fabian Hakalits. Good night.